Good morning. Welcome to our Women's History Month Assembly. We are so excited to be back. It was a year ago this month that Kentucky State University depopulated in compliance with the CDC request for the COVID-19 pandemic. The 2020 Women's History Assembly was the first assembly to be canceled on our Augusta campus. So we are excited this year to return with the celebration of women of distinction for both the year 2020 and the year 2021. The summons to assembly will be given by Ms. Clara Ross Stamps, the Senior Vice President for Brand Identity and University Relations, followed by the selection Stand Up by Ms. Jessica Edwards, a sophomore music major. Please receive them at this time.
Good morning to President M. Christopher Brown II, esteemed guests in person and joining us online. We welcome you to Kentucky State University's Women's Assembly. Celebrating and commemorating the accomplishments of women throughout history is an excellent opportunity to continue the momentum gained during the election of our first female Vice President, Kamala Harris. Great women have built, shaped, and fought continuously to improve the world in which we all live, all while enduring discrimination and unnecessary hardships. Courageous women, African American women, marched for and won the right to vote, shattered countless barriers, and continue to fight against injustice. We are thankful, so thankful for their excellent leadership. Today we remember and honor Kentucky State University female presidents. The 14th president, Dr. Mary Levi Smith Stowe, and our 16th president, Dr. Mary Evans Sias. Because of their contributions to Kentucky State, we know that women are more than capable. Women are brave, women are strong, and women are leading the way. In our current moment of crisis, women continue to lead. From vaccine researchers to public health officials to countless essential workers on the front lines, women are working around the clock to defeat COVID-19. And as women, we are aware. The weight of disrespect, unfair treatment, insensitive labels, and the weight of pay disparities, it is all too heavy. We are strong. Yes, we are resilient, and we are present. Women's History Month must move beyond celebrating the accomplishments of great women. We must act. We must truly understand gender equity and the quality of humanity. It means knowing you can do more. It's about knowing that women belong in every room, at every table, and at every level. It's about knowing that women should be paid to be in the room, at the table, and at every level rightly. We need you to honor us through action. With support and collaboration, women will continue to uplift our nation and our world. This is your summons to assembly. Thank you.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got ice in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm waiting through many waters. You know I gotta make up mine. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on my way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around that bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone. And I might just fail, but Lord knows I'll try. Sure as stars fill up the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I long to prepare things for you. I long to prepare things for you. I long to prepare things for you. I long to prepare things for you.
Let's give Miss Jessica Edwards another round of applause. At this time, we'll have our welcome by Miss Asia Scott, a junior mass communications major. Following Miss Scott, a special dance presentation directed by our own Miss Sherry Level, a tribute to Chucks and Pearls, celebrating our first female vice president, presented by the Unity Dancers, entitled Independent Women by Destiny's Child.
Good morning, Kentucky State University. I am Asia Scott, the first Executive Vice President of the 87th Student Government Association, and I'd like to welcome you all today as we celebrate the strength, courage, and determination of women throughout history. During the assembly, we will be highlighting the countless contributions that women have made. It is without a doubt that we honor and celebrate these women for all that they have done. From nurturing the world to being at the front lines, women play an important role in society. So I challenge you all to love, honor, and protect our women. Once again, I'd like to welcome you all today to today's Women's History Assembly. Thank you and enjoy.
Question. Tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings. I'm wearing your celly when I'm feeling lonely. When it's all over, please get up and leave. Question, tell me how you feel about this. Try to control me, boy, you get dismissed. Pay my own condo and I pay my own bills. Always 50-50 in relationships. The shoes on my feet, the clothes I'm wearing, the rock I'm rocking. Cause I depend on me. If I want it, the watch I'm wearing, the house I live in, the car I'm driving. I depend on me. I depend on me. All the way back, throw your hands up at me. All the humpers, make you my day. Throw your hands up at me. All the humpers, rock it out, throw your hands up at me. All the ladies, do the same way. Throw your hands up at me. Girl, in the middle, get down like that. Show me how your angels get down like that. Girl, like the end, get down like that. Show me how your angels get down like that. Tell me how you feel about this. Do it how I want, if how I wanna live. Worked hard and sacrificed to get what I get. Ladies, it ain't easy being independent. Question, how'd you like his knowledge that I brought? Bragging on that cash that he gave you is the front. If you're gonna brag, make sure it's your money you fund. You don't know what else to give you what you want. The shoes on my feet, the clothes I'm wearing, the rock I'm rocking. Cause I depend on me. If I want it, the watch I'm wearing, the house I live in, the car I'm driving. I depend on me. I depend on me. All the way back. All the humpers, make you my day. Throw your hands up at me, baby. Throw your hands up at me. We'll bring these people out, range yourself.
Another round of applause for our Unity dancers. At this time, Dr. Timon Graham with our 2020 and 2021 Women of Distinction Awards.
Good morning. Last year, due to the novel coronavirus pandemic, we were unable to celebrate our 2020 winners. Today, we will celebrate them. Winners, as I call your name, please come forward and stand and remain for a group photo at the end. The first, Miss Kimba Cofield. Miss Cofield is an internationally known jazz vocalist, a recording artist, writer, composer, and talent extraordinaire. Ms. Cofield is a graduate of Kentucky State University, receiving her bachelor's degree in music education, and in 2005 released her debut album. Please give it up for Ms. Cofield. Our next award winner, Miss Ramona Jones. Ramona is a graduate of Franklin County High School and for over the past 13 years served Kentucky State University proudly as an employee of our facility services. She is currently the team leader, so you may see her out at breakfast, at lunch, in the student center, anywhere on campus. She credits her commitment to service and dedication to Kentucky State University and to her mother and grandmother who served as employees of the university from the 1970s up to 2000. Please give it up for Ms. Ramona. And our final 2020 recipient, Ms. Rayshonda Elias Lockhart. She is a highly successful entrepreneur, United States Army veteran, politician, author, speaker, designer, philanthropist, all of the above. She is currently residing in West Louisville, Kentucky, and is the owner of the clothing and accessory business All Is Fair in Love and Fashion. Originally from Chicago, Illinois, she attended Kentucky State from 2007 to 2011. She was also featured on TLC's Say Yes to the Dress, so that face may look familiar. Let's congratulate our award winners today. Thank you. Now for our 2021 award winners. Our first, Ms. Cornelia Calhoun. Ms. Calhoun earned her bachelor's degree in business education in 1964 and a Master of Public Administration 30 years later in 1994, both from Kentucky State University. She served 6 years as a staff regent for the Kentucky State University Board of Regents and is a lifetime member of the KSU National Alumni Association. She is currently involved in many community organizations, including serving as the secretary for the Green Hill Cemetery Board. Please give it up one time for Ms. Cornelia Calhoun. Our next recipient, Ms. Dantrea Hampton. Ms. Hampton is the periodicals and reference librarian in the Paul G. Blazer Library, where she serves our faculty, staff, and students, and the greater Frankfort community. She has served Kentucky State in this role since 2002. As a librarian, she believes it's her responsibility to find, create, and offer new avenues of promoting information literacy to everyone regardless of their background. Ms. Hampton received her Bachelor's of Arts in Physical Education with a minor in biology at Kentucky State University and a Master's of Science in Library Sciences at the University of Kentucky. Please help us in congratulating Ms. Hampton. Our next award winner, Ms. Karen Townsend. Ms. Townsend is the president of K. Townsend Consulting and works with leaders to develop inclusive environments to build strong teams so that they can effectively meet the needs of their diverse clients. Her goal is to equip professionals with the tools needed to live and lead confidently. Dr. Townsend is the 1985 graduate of Kentucky State University, where she received her Bachelor's of Political Science. She then proceeded to receive a Master's of Humanities from Ohio State University in 1986 and her PhD in Educational Leadership from the University of Dayton in 2000. Join me in congratulating Dr. Townsend. And our final award winner is Ms. Beverly Metcalf. She attended Mayo Underwood Elementary School through the 5th grade until the entire Black community in downtown Frankfort was relocated to East Frankfort County in July of 1963. She attended Kentucky State University for 1 year in 1972 and has faithfully served the Kentucky State government in disability determinations and the Transportation Cabinet for 28 years before retiring. By 2007, she volunteered at the Barack Obama for President headquarters in Frankfurt and currently serves as the chairman for the Frankfurt County Democratic Executive Committee Party and has an office she has held since 2018. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Metcalf. And we're doing one picture. Thank you. Please give all of our award winners a round of applause.
Let's give all of our 2020 and 2021 recipients a round of applause. Please welcome our 91st Miss Kentucky State University, Yasmin Harper, who will introduce this morning's Assembly Speaker.
Good morning. I am Yasmin Harper, the 91st Miss Kentucky State University, and today I have the honor of introducing Ms. Kelsey Scott. Ms. Kelsey Scott is a two-time Emmy-nominated actress and screenwriter who began her career in the theater scene of her hometown of Atlanta. Ms. Scott earned her Bachelor of Science in Broadcast Journalism from Florida A&M University and a Master of Fine Arts in Film from Florida State University. She later returned to Florida State University as a visiting filmmaker in residence. Additionally, she provides script and story consultation for studio and private clients and spearheaded the first screenwriting curriculum at Golden West College. Best known for her role as Ann Northup in the Oscar-winning 12 Years a Slave and her two-season arc as Wes Gibson's mother, Rose, on How to Get Away with Murder, her credits also include Insecure, NCIS, Dynasty, and True Detective. She has a 2019 Daytime Emmy nominee for her guest star role on Giants. Her theater resume showcases her work as a vocalist with productions like Once on the Island, Little Shop of Horrors, The Wiz, and the touring company of Dreamgirls. Behind the Curtain, she co-wrote a musical production of Atlantic City's Tropicana Casino and co-produced a live-action original show in Los Angeles. Ms. Scott serves as a celebrity ambassador for Kids in Spotlight, a nonprofit organization that enlists professional filmmakers to train foster care youth to create, write, cast, and star their own short films. Join me in welcoming Ms. Kelsey Scott.
Well, good morning. Oh, come on now, we're small, but we're mighty. Good morning, Kentucky State University. Thank you. I came a long way. It's good to see you. I appreciate the invitation. Thank you for welcoming me into your space, into your home. And even the short walk across campus felt a little familiar to me. I mean, maybe it's my Southern roots. I am Atlanta born and bred. Or perhaps it's the HBCU kinship, as I spent many of my formative years at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, atop the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida. I'm a rattler, I gotta. But upon sharing news of this invitation with my family, I actually discovered that I have a more direct connection to the university, as my father-in-law is KSU class of 1971. So he said to give y'all a shout out. It matters, right? The spaces that hold us, that build us, that shape us, they matter. Because they don't just teach us to walk through the world, they inform our stride. So I'd especially like to thank President Brown and the Board of Regents for today's opportunity to share a bit of my story and for setting an example by encouraging the recognition and the celebration of the accomplishments of women. of our voices. Now, I was specifically asked to speak about the progress of Black women that they've made in the acting industry. But how do we measure that progress? I mean, I could rattle off some significant dates. Let's see. 1962, the year Ethel Waters became the first Black woman to be nominated for an Emmy. Or 1970, the year Gail Fisher became the first Black woman to receive one. We could talk about Hattie McDaniel's historic Oscar win in 1940 for Best Supporting Actress in Gone with the Wind. It took more than 15 years for Dorothy Dandridge to be nominated in the lead actress category, and another 47 before Halle Berry would claim the Oscar statuette for lead actress. And we haven't even talked about theater and the Tony Awards, but as shiny as they are, awards are not the barometer for progress. Neither is the number of your Instagram followers. In the world of film, television, Netflix, progress is generally accomplished in two ways: speaking up and showing up, especially when you're not invited. Progress is intentional. It's deliberate. You rarely stumble upon it. Someone does something that enables someone else to do something more. Progress is a multi-generational relay race, and you probably can't see the finish line from your vantage point, but understand that your responsibility is to run your leg of the race with everything you have. So how do you do that? Ladies, how do you raise your voice in self-advocacy? Where do you start? You start where you are. Now, I talk about my grandmother a lot. I mention her in just about every speech I deliver. Marion E. Rice. Her leg of the race was a lot more difficult than mine has ever been. She wasn't an actress, she wasn't a performer, she was a writer. Not by profession, because her life wasn't set up that way. She was a writer in spite of her grade school teacher accusing her of plagiarism because her writing seemed too advanced. In spite of halting her education after high school to raise 5 children with my grandfather. In spite of an environment that put time into discouraging her voice and worked hard to silence it. Nevertheless, she persisted. And when my grandfather passed away and Grandma came to live with me and my mom and my sister, she discovered a vessel in me, someone to take the baton while she was still present to witness it. Before I could read, my grandmother would record herself reciting her poetry and her speeches, and then I would take the tape recorder and I'd play it over and over again until I memorized it, and then I'd go out into the community and deliver her pieces. She shaped me into a public speaker, loaning me her voice. I went from, let's get that little girl who spoke at Sunday service, to sharing stages with icons like Jesse Jackson and Oprah Winfrey. As I amplified my grandmother's voice, I began cultivating my own. See, Grandma was refusing to be marginalized, to give up on sharing her story. And that fortitude taught me, motivated me, and not just me. The ripple effect of my grandma's impact was far-reaching. Among the written condolences our family received after she passed away was one from a childhood friend of mine. Now, we knew each other from school, we knew each other from church. She'd always been quiet, reserved. So when Grandma selected her to act in one of the many church plays she had written, even my friend questioned that decision. But over the weeks of rehearsal, of standing center stage, growing accustomed to undistracted attention, she realized she had something to say. She didn't want to be an actress. She wanted to be counted. Grandma helped my friend understand the power of her story and her right to tell it. That condolence that I mentioned ended with, if it wasn't for Mrs. Rice, I'd still be sitting by myself in the back of the church. Even when the place where you start seems too humble to make a difference, the revolutionary act of speaking up can echo into perpetuity. You become part of the larger narrative. And more than once in my lifetime, I found myself putting that lesson to use. Okay, so my freshman year at FAMU, my journalism school sister, Nicole Collier, and I were developing a local talk show along with students at nearby Florida State University and Tallahassee Community College. Our intentions were good, but by the time we landed on subject matter that spoke to the needs of all three schools, the content felt non-specific, watered down. So Nicole and I were also the only women on the creative team, and while we weren't being silenced, folks were definitely turning down our volume. So we found a way to take control of the narrative by developing our own show. We drafted a proposal, requested a meeting with the general manager of the Tallahassee Fox affiliate. Yes, we pitched him a show that spoke to FAMU's specific demographic, but no less significant is that we pitched a show that would be helmed by women. It was a distinction that the male station manager recognized and intentionally leaned into. We went from being journalism students to executive producers of a Fox television show, populated, shot, edited, and eventually financed by the students of the university. See, when you bet on yourself with confidence, folks tend to find a reason to follow your lead. So we put ourselves at the table. We found our way into decision-making positions. We had our say, and no, we weren't invited. Look, I tell stories for a living. Sometimes in front of a camera, or on the screen, or on the stage. Other times I craft the story, pen to paper. Actually, more like keystrokes to MacBook Air. But ultimately, I just want to make good art. I want to embody characters, create characters, see myself, my experiences represented on screen in all hues and social variations. But my chosen industry also puts me in a unique position. If a church play can pull the shy girl from her seat in the back of Greater Travelers Rest Baptist Church into a grander sense of her purpose, imagine what happens when she sees herself represented in a movie as a doctor or an engineer or a physicist. If two freshman girls can make waves behind the scenes of a local talk show, imagine the impact they could have in the writer's room of a scripted series or as film producers. It's that ripple again. Because if progress is achieved by speaking up and showing up, it is measured by the impact of that subsequent presence. Now, I'm not trying to make it a calculus equation, but I firmly believe that storytellers do more than make believe. They make belief. They can change a careless narrative into a more truthful one. Issa Rae created a web series called Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl because she felt like Hollywood stereotypes of black women were limiting, and she couldn't relate to them. That web series birthed 5 seasons of the HBO show Insecure, where Issa tells stories that are more authentically reflective of one avenue of the black experience. A long line of voices passed Issa that baton, and she's running hard with it. So are Regina King, and Kerry Washington, and Angela Bassett, and Susan Kelechi Watson. And when Viola Davis became the first black woman to win an Emmy for lead actress in a drama series, she said, "The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity." So this is where we shift focus a little bit. I admit that I have been directing most of this to the ladies. I mean, listen, they gave us a whole month, we still in it, I'm gonna do it. But progress doesn't happen in a vacuum. If every woman in the world decided to speak up and show up, that still wouldn't guarantee unfettered representation or pay equity or human dignity. Progress requires advocates. Gentlemen, have you considered your role in the advancement of women? Because it's not a passive one. I mean, we appreciate a cheering squad. I love a good pat on the back. But your responsibility runs deeper, especially in this space, this place, this home. The system is too insidious to allow for separate ascension in the Black community. You gotta help a sister out. You should help a sister out. It is not enough to be willing to listen to her. You must be willing to amplify her voice. That's your baton, and it is very much a part of the race. I mean, we are gathered on the campus of an HBCU, formerly the State Normal School for Colored Persons. It was born of the need to serve the Black community when other institutions shut us out. So none of us gets to only serve ourselves. Excuse me if I'm fussing, but I'm also gonna need some audience participation. None of us gets to only serve ourselves. Ladies, how y'all feeling? Brothers, y'all all right? All right, let's get into it then. When was the last time you found yourself witnessing a female classmate being talked over? A female colleague being mansplained? A female's authority being dismissed? What did you do? What did you say? How did you feel? Because I propose that should have made you feel some kind of way. We're not damsels in distress, we're family. And that community spirit, that community purpose, cultivated, nurtured by HBCUs, doesn't halt at your degree. Listen, the first producer to hire me to write a screenplay was an alumnus of FAMU. That job was the beginning of my professional screenwriting career. It wasn't handed to me. I had to earn it, but I didn't call him. He called me, his family. The song is, sisters are doing it for themselves, not by themselves. Some of you think I've gone off topic. That's okay. What does this have to do with Black women in entertainment? Here's what I believe. Progress for Black women is a collective mission that eclipses job and industry. It is an ever-moving goalpost that is not satisfied with one and done. Progress asks, what have you done for me lately? What is your contribution on the day-to-day, on Tuesday, on today? Ladies, trust your voice and then share it boldly, clearly, articulately, robustly, authentically. Gentlemen, support her with your acknowledgement that her voice is not a footnote to your story. I'm here today for a reason, a purpose. And it's not just to recite a history lesson on the evolution of Black women in stage and screen, because you can Google that. I'm here to convey something that emboldens someone to do something more. I'm here to remind you that you've been handed the baton. You got it? Now run. Thank you, KSU. I appreciate your hospitality.
Ms. Kelsey Scott, please come back. Can we give her a round of applause for being our Women's Assembly speaker? Where's our camera? Oh yeah, they can't.
You can't see the smile through the mask. It's there, I promise.
1 second. Could you remain standing? Ms. Scott is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, and the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated would like to make a presentation.
On behalf of the Alpha Pi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, we would like to present you with these tokens of appreciation. Thank you.
And now we will have closing remarks by Mr. Kirk L. Miller, the 2020-21 president of the Student Government Association, followed by our alma mater by Ms. Tremaya Johnson, a sophomore music education major.
I too agree that women should speak up boldly and proud so their voices can be heard, and men need to listen and amplify. So I would like to personally thank Ms. Kelsey Scott for your wise and beautiful words. I would love to close today's assembly with a word of thanks and a challenge. First, to my mother, sisters, grand and great-grandmother, thank you for your time, talent, and treasure in helping me arrive to where I am today. To the women of the 87th Student Government Association and all of my lady thoroughbreds, thank you, not only for your support of me, but for the support you provide to all of the men who will be lost without your intelligence, encouragement, and the occasional side eye. Lastly, to all of the women who serve as faculty and staff, especially those of you who give us their all serving us in the cafeteria and facilities, thank you for your wisdom, tireless support, kindness, and friendly smile at just the right moment. Finally, to all the men, Desmond Tutu once said, "It is by standing up for the rights of girls and women that we truly measure up as men." Men, I issue you the challenge not to level up, but to measure up. By supporting the rights of women, speaking up in the face of injustice and inequity, boldly speaking out in the face of oppression and sexism, and uplifting those who have and continue to uplift us. Thank you.
Can everyone please stand for me? Hail to alma mater, dear is her name, and there shall be no other to surpass her fame. Hers is the hand that guides us day after day, and she will stand beside us when we go on our way. May blessings be upon her, shepherd of youth. She holds the seeds of